Near AI. What did you ship this week?
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the weekly What Did You Ship This Week? My name is Cameron Dennis. For those who are tuning in for the first time, we do this about every week to just highlight what projects in the ecosystem, what they're doing, everything related to AI specifically. This week we have an amazing agenda. We have Eric from Coinbase, who will be talking a bit more about X402, which is a pretty amazing announcement that they released yesterday, maybe 2 days ago. Ruben from Forest AI talking about AI benchmarking. Alex Comerford from Near AI team focused on Near MCP. We've got Kirill from Datrix talking about travel agents. Charles from Benevio Labs talking about automated trading, which is really exciting. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about update on the on-ramp that we are working on that is completely chain abstracted and intent driven. And then lastly, which is a bit more of a fun app, which is an on-chain game with an AI agent from Igboza from Solvium. But to kick things off, I'm going to add Eric to the stage. Eric, how are you doing?
Doing great, Cameron. Excited to chat today.
Amazing. So, real quick, X402 was announced this week. Can you give the audience just a kind of high level of what exactly it is, does it enable, and what you want people to do with it?
Yeah. So X402 is not a new idea. This is an idea that's been kicking around since at least the 80s, which is what if we natively had payments on the internet, so integrated well into the HTTP spec, uh, as close to a web standard as we can get it. And so X402 is Coinbase Developer Platform's attempt to push us in the direction of getting truly internet native payments, regardless of blockchain, regardless of like logical way of paying, regardless of token, but to start cementing some standards for if we want, payments to work in a browser in a native way, via HTTP in a native way, like we need to like start laying some groundwork and some foundations to make that happen. And so what X402 is a set of standards on how to convey payment. It basically answers the question. It lets you effectively answer the question like, how do I pay you? And so you can say like, I accept these tokens on these chains or these other methods. This is how much I want you to pay me in different ways. And then the protocol is flexible enough to allow multiple chains of resolution, multiple logical ways of expressing a payment. For example, the way that you pay for LM tokens is very different than the way that you pay for a T-shirt. And yeah, we want people to build all sorts of stuff with it. Give us feedback. I know Near has a great demo of it. We'd love a Near chain integration at some point. But yeah, hopefully that's enough to at least seed the conversation.
Yeah, totally. And I'd like to one up instead of just near integration, I like to integrate every chain through near intents. Some of our goal is like one of our main goals is to make blockchains invisible. And this I think is a huge step forward. So, and also it's part of the reason why I got into crypto back in 2017 or so was like, you can send an email around the world in seconds and it gets to somebody. But if you're trying to send $1 to somebody, it's just like totally broken process. And so I guess my main question is like, what do you want people to build with this? Like, how do they actually start adopting this today? Do you have some like killer use cases that you're looking for?
Yeah. So I think like think of any time that you've entered a credit card on the internet. That's the kind of service that you should think about replacing that with X402. Uh, I think the like why now for something like X402 is agents. Like a lot of the push that we've been having with X402 is that it makes it really trivial for AI agents to pay for things on the internet. Because you can't really give your agent a credit card. Your agent needs to be really good if you want to trust it with your credit card. Credit cards are also kind of like a legacy fintech thing that aren't digital native, and so it's more difficult to like apply rules or do like a human in the loop. It pings you on Telegram to like make sure that you're cool with it spending $50 on a thing, kind of systems. Uh, Whereas crypto, regardless of chain, they're digital native, so you can just build stuff that makes the payment experience really good. And so build an AI agent, have it buy stuff. There's a bunch of launch partners that we had yesterday on things you can do. There's a cool near demo on performing swaps with intents. And but yeah, I think like I can point you in the right direction, but what I'm really curious about is what people are going to come up with that I have not thought of yet.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense. I'm actually just going to bring up the site. Okay, so really, if you're like a existing agent builder looking for payments, check out X402 today. Like it's ready to rock and roll. We're good. Like it's here.
Yeah, it works. Okay. Yeah, it's currently we support Base. We're working on with some other chains to add more chains supported in the future. Again, would love to work with Near on an integration. I know you guys have a great demo, and check out the GitHub, read the white paper, try the demo. It all works pretty seamlessly, and you can either accept payments to any HTTP server in as little as one line of code, or integrate paying for things on the internet into your AI agent in as little as one line of code. So let me know if you think we can make it even better.
Oh yeah, we have this is a very quick, this is like internal doc, but we have a lot of ways that we can integrate. So more to come soon. But Eric, thank you so much for joining. I'm going to quickly demo the existing Near Intents X402 integration that we're working on. Just FYI, everyone in the audience, this is not ready for, our demo is not ready for production. This is a demo. We are working on making this production ready, but thought we'd give you a little sneak peek given that this is the What Did You Ship This Week live stream. But Eric, is there anything that you want to add before I do the demo and move on?
No, I mean, I think the demo, I watched the demo yesterday. It's super cool. Excited for Near to be involved. And if you have any feedback, raise an issue on the GitHub. We try to get to them as quickly as possible. And, but, you know, there's only so many of us and so many of you.
Yes, well, we will contribute. 100% will contribute. Where can people learn more about you?
I'm on X and Farcaster at Programmer, just the English word programmer. Yeah, that's probably the best.
Damn man, you were early. That's one of the best handles you can get. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome, man. Well, thanks for joining. All right, I hope the audio works. Can somebody? Let's see. Can somebody in the? Let's see here. Frederick, I'm gonna look towards you or Ruben or anybody. Just give me the thumbs up if you can hear it. Womp womp. Okay, let me try something else then. You know what? This kind of sucks. I don't know how to actually get the audio moving. Let me try to.
It's me.
Okay, how about now? Is this better? Great. Sorry for the delay, everybody. Serious audio issues. Was trying to show you the demo, which did not have audio. So we're just going to move on. Thank you and sorry. Ruben, are you ready to rock?
Go.
Beautiful.
Hey.
Welcome.
So
if you're going to share your screen, make sure just to share the tab or the window. And also, just to give a quick overview, explain to us who you are, what is Forest AI, and what did you ship this week?
All right, let's start to try to share. Can you see that screen? Yes, you can. Great. Haha, Near. This is what we shipped this week. But firstly, who am I? And might as well put up this. So I'm Ruben. I'm the founder of Forced AI. Forced AI is the Web3 ratings agency for AI. It's very akin to BitTensor. We solve a lot of the problems people had on BitTensor, and that's where everyone comes from. All our users come from BitTensor failures or successes. Anyways, but today I'm going to talk about PeerBench, which is an open source nonprofit framework that is very academically inclined, and we're solving the fundamental problem of cheating and benchmarking. So this is a low-level problem. We have it in Web3 AI, but there's even bigger problems in Web2 AI. So I'll slightly introduce that before showing the demo. If you guys are not, like, you guys have probably seen what happened when this benchmark was released. $1 trillion was wiped out. So benchmarks are really important, but cheating on benchmarks is super easy, right? Because you can see the answers to the benchmarks. The test data set is publicly visible. And we have an honor system that AI companies won't be just hard coding those answers into their models, but there's hundreds of billions of dollars at stake. So of course, people are cheating. Now, there have been some previous approaches for trying to prevent this, trying to make AI benchmarking more rigorous. LiveBench was one of them, by having continuously updating test data. But that test data that they use still originates from public sources. So you can just go to the GitHubs where they're pulling their questions from and prepare yourself. So LiveBench is good, but doesn't really protect us. Then there's the approach of having all your data be private. So you never tell anyone what the test data is. Seal from Scale AI is an approach, is one of them that worked quite well. ArcAGI is another one, but you probably haven't heard of these. It doesn't catch on. People in AI are not super interested in things that they can't review. And of course, this is a centralized entity that you have to trust. And yeah, we don't like that. Another approach is crowdsourcing, results in really low quality data. And again, companies can just have their employees upvote themselves. So Elamarina, Chatterina, it's also not the answer. PeerBench takes a lot of learnings from the past and things that didn't work and kind of combines the best of everything. So our test data is mostly private, but it's being shared. Our test data updates continuously. And the fundamental thing is that it's multiple different entities creating the test data. So decentralized. So we'll have MIT, Princeton, Technische Universität München producing, let's say, some new coding test cases. And then immediately, if somebody's colluding, like if this university told OpenAI or somebody what the questions were going to be, they're going to get a really good result on that, but they're not going to get good results on the same types of questions coming from different entities. So in this way, by being multi-party, by being decentralized, we can prevent the type of collusion that we've seen before, for instance, in ArcAGI. And yeah, also being very university inclined, these people care much more about the reputation than bribes. So again, to summarize that, we solve the problem of cheating in AI by creating continuously updated test data, by decentralizing the entities that create this test data, by keeping it private, but then having peer review between them. So the entities, when they make the test data, they hash it and then register each prompt. And then we wait for the next block, and we take the Ethereum block as a seed to select a random 10% of that. And then that is revealed to the others for peer review quality. All right, let's skip all the rest. Oh yeah, lots of people are working on this. It's not me, you know, everyone else is smarter than me. I'm just kind of organizing people. And yeah, let's go. If you want to participate or read more, please go to the GitHub. But now we got to show a demo. So our integration with Near was recently added as a way to quickly query lots of different models. So if you add a model through Near AI, then all of our universities can benchmark you. And while this part isn't completely done yet, you'll slowly see a lot more PeerBench-based cheat-proof benchmark results come up in the Near AI evaluation page. But let me just run this to prove that it works. And this is a very simple history test set based on the MLU Pro standard, where we've created new prompts because yeah, it shows people are cheating. Anyways, here you can see it live. We built this in JavaScript. So the main branch is, of course, the CLI. And you can have a try yourself. But we recently added this front end also, which makes it a lot easier. And now, yeah, everything on Near AI can be tested through Peerbench. So that's what we shipped this week.
That is amazing. The world needs more benchmarks. I'm curious though, are you trying to also create benchmarks for agents, or is this primarily focused on models?
So we are firstly and foremost trying to create the system, the standard on how we should do this correctly. So even stuff as boring and as simple as defining the schema with which we publish these things, standardizing how people are the way in which the benchmark is created, that format, we standardize it. So there's a lot of things around each of the benchmarks that we need to do right, and that's the primary task. But then, yes, we are creating new benchmarks. We started with things that are really academic, so medical history, computer science, and it's generic. So LLM interface is what we did right now. And of course, you can test agents that do more complex things. Things like computer interactions will come slightly later. But yeah, it's generic for any benchmark, really. We hope that basically everyone that produces new benchmarks will do it in this way so that we can trust the results and we stop cheating.
What can everyone in the audience do to support? Like, how do they get involved?
Oh yeah, stars on GitHub.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll pop up my that URL again. Of course, if you are involved with anyone that's producing a test data set at the moment, we would love to work together to get that to be cheat proof from the beginning. So you can hit me up, Ruben Wolf, basically everywhere. And if you're working on a data set or working on creating new test data, contact me. You'll also get to meet a ton of people, really smart people in the group. And the project's fully open source. So if you're interested in participating and getting your name on the commit log, GitHub's open.
Amazing. Get your name on that commit log. Thank you, Ruben, for joining. We're going to move on to Alex from the Near AI team to talk about Near MCP. Alex, welcome back.
Hello. Thank you for having me back. Appreciate it.
Yep. Of course, man. Real quick, just as a quick summary, who are you? What is Near MCP? And what did you ship last week or this week?
I'm Alex. I'm an engineer at Near AI, and I'm working on Near MCP as part of my work at Near AI. And Near MCP, for people who aren't aware, I presume most of the audience is in the whole AI world. I'm presuming they've heard of MCP, but for people who haven't, MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. It's a protocol that was made by Anthropic probably over half a year ago now. Time moves so quick. It's hard to remember what came out when and so many things happening. And MCP is effectively a protocol, a whole system to imbue language models with extra context. At least that's how on the website MCP defines itself. However, canonically, people are using MCP and making MCP servers to allow LLMs to interface with other systems, giving them like pre-packaged function calling interface to talk with some other system. And so, again, part of my work at Near AI, I made the Near MCP server. And I'm going to demo something about Near MCP. This was something that I shipped this week, which was integration with Ref Finance. Ref Finance is a DEX on Near. And so now, through Near MCP, you can talk with the language model, and the language model should be able to talk with Ref Finance in the right way to swap tokens on your behalf. So I will share my screen and I'll show
Hey, Alex, real quick, I just want to get clear. If with Near MCP, with Quad Code or Quad generally, you're going to be able to communicate with any Near Smart Contract API. Is that correct? But you've applied it for Ref right now.
Correct. Yeah. So right now you can talk to any smart contract on Near right now that's deployed, mainnet or testnet. The demo I'm going to do is just using Ref Finance on mainnet. I had to make very explicit trade or function calling for Ref Finance because Ref Finance is a very complicated smart contract. And if you try to have the LLMs are not at the point where they can make 10 smart contract calls and are aware contextually about how every smart contract operates. So I put in a few utility helper calls to allow the LLM to be able to swap much, much easier.
Cool.
So yeah.
Beautiful.
All right, let me see if you can share my screen. I don't know if you can see. I'm presuming yes. Okay. If you can see, then I'll just continue. So I'm going to launch Claude Code. This Claude Code is effectively similar to a ChatGPT terminal user interface. So I can just say something like, "Hey," and just like ChatGPT, you'll get a response back. However, this is talking with Claude. So the benefit of Claude Code and the reason why I'm using it is because I personally prefer it's one of the best MCP and simplest MCP clients. So if you want to put in your own MCP server, Claude Code makes it extremely easy to do that. For example, I can exit out here and I can do, if I remember the correct command, Claude MCP add. So example, this command right here is how you would add the Near MCP server to your Claude Code installation effectively. And you can do this with there's many other MCP servers out there that you can add. Anyway, I will launch Claude Code. And one way you can, how you would initially start is you can see what MCP servers you have available by doing /MCP. So we have the Near MCP server enabled, and you can ask simple things. So I've been interacting with Near MCP as I made it. So you can say things like, what accounts do I have loaded? And so I preloaded an existing account. This account paperprompt.near, and it's on mainnet. And we'll just go, now I'll demonstrate some of the new functionality, or some of the existing functionality with the Near MCP servers. You can send tokens, receive tokens, sign data. You can interact with smart contracts like Cameron and I were talking about before. And a bunch of others. I recommend just checking the GitHub. There's a bunch of different functionality. But now we'll talk about the new functionality about Ref Finance. So if I say how much, let's say I want to swap between USDC and USDT. These are US dollar stablecoins on the Near network. They're both native tokens. So if I do this, how much USDT native will I get if I swap for, let's say, 1 penny of USDC native? And hopefully, if Claude is feeling good today and knows how to talk about the right things, we should be able to get the right, we should be able to call the right commands and tell us what we'll get out. So here, for example, it's telling us, it's calling a bunch of different functions, but the main one that it was talking through is this new function call that we just added, Ref Finance Get Swap Estimate. It's a little bit cut off here. And you can see it puts in the right contracts and the right amounts and tells us you'll approximately get 0.009, approximately the same amount out minus whatever additional fees. So this is just the estimate. And now we can say, do that swap now. And hopefully, Claude will call the actual execute swap. And if we wait a few seconds, in the background, we're calling exactly that Ref Finance smart contract and doing this swap. And there we go. So transaction was executed. You can see that we swapped that for that exact amount of USDT. And now if I can say how much USDT do I have now? We should Claude or the LLM should be smart enough to call the right things. And you can see it called. This did a read call on the Tether smart contract, telling us that we have 7 cents. So yeah, I've done this demo a few times. So of swapping a penny back and forth. So yeah, this is the main thing. So now in the Near MCP server, you can swap between tokens to your heart's content. The next use case I'm going to be developing in is integrating Near Intents. So now not only can you swap between tokens in the Near blockchain, but you'll also be able to swap between blockchains just by typing a few sentences. So that's next, and that's a demo. Thank you all for listening. Oh, I'll say one more thing. If you want to try the Near MCP server yourself, this is the GitHub. It's at github.com nearai/near-mcp. And the first thing is how to use it with Claude Code. Try it yourself, or try using it in your MCP client of choice, whether that be Cursor or Windsurf or anything else. And please let me know if there's any issues. Put an issue on GitHub if there's a certain feature that you're looking for that is not provided in the Near MCP server but related to the Near ecosystem. Please put in an issue, and we can get working on integrating it. So yeah, thank you.
This is so exciting. I kind of hate using a lot of crypto apps because they're hard to navigate. I do think that these MCP servers and just like being able to transact in natural language is going to open up crypto to everybody in the world. So I think that this is like groundbreaking. And at the end of the day, hopefully we don't have to continuously sign transactions every single time we want to do anything. So this is huge.
That would be nice.
My biggest issue is potential hallucinations. LLMs aren't amazing with money. How do you plan to hedge potential issues and hallucinations?
So excellent question. It's definitely difficult there's no silver bullet to solving hallucinations. The only thing we can really do is try and make them less and less likely. Because again, LLMs are stochastic by nature. Even if you do temperature 0 in your sampling, you still don't know a priori what you're going to get out unless it's the same exact prompt. The ways that I've been trying to put into the MCP server to try and reduce hallucinations more is one, making sure the prompting or the descriptions on every tool is very explicit. Trying to make sure have an estimate function before you actually execute it, to make sure that the user should be sure before you're actually executing the next command. So now in the demo I just gave with Claude Code, I actually was running things in dangerous mode. I say don't ask me yes or no, just execute the commands, just because like the LLM to raw dog have my wallet. But
yeah,
normally you can just in Claude Code you have to explicitly allow any explicit action, so you can see if there's any hallucinations before you execute it.
Got it. Also, one other issue that I generally have with some of these AI systems where they run my wallet, how do you manage my private key? How is this private key stored? And
Sure.
I want to make sure it can't run away with all my money.
So the MCP server is designed to be run on your local machine. We do enable you to communicate now through server-side events. So you could host a Near MCP server. However, we don't support multi-tenancy. That can be a feature that we can build in the future. We do allow people to run in their MCP server. We have a whole guide contributed by the community on how to run the MCP server in Fala. So you can have your own private instance of your MCP server that you communicate directly to. But the keys are stored standardly how the Near CLI stores things, which is on your disk, which is on your local file system. Yeah.
Got it. Yep. Critical. This is amazing stuff. Alex, is there anything else that you want to share before we move on to Charles?
Yeah, I'll say one quick thing. That LLMs I think are the coolest things since sliced bread. And like you were mentioning, LLMs are using some apps in general, not just crypto apps, are sometimes painstakingly complicated. I'm not the best at Photoshop, but I know people who are, who spent a long time. It would be nice if there was a way I can just speak how I want it and have the LLM be able to interface with the application. This is kind of MCP servers are a way for us to communicate from our natural language to the right executions to get the things that we want. LLMs are basically the greatest translation layer of human language to structured data that kind of we've ever met. This to me is the killer app with LLMs. It's basically word vomit to structured actions. And I look forward to seeing just how the ecosystem evolves in MCP servers and seeing how we better do that translation. Yeah, thank you for having me on. That's it.
Amazing stuff, man. Thank you, Alex. Awesome. Speaking about AI in trading and everything else, we have Charles here. Charles, welcome back to the show. Would love for you to give a quick overview. Who are you? What are you building? And what did you ship last week?
Yeah. Thanks for having me back. I'm Charles. I'm a co-founder at Benevio Labs, and we are building consumer-focused DeFi apps. And what we shipped this week is actually, it basically isolates what a core experience of the overall app that we're building. And although that overall app is targeted for mainstream consumers, crypto newbies, what we build right now is focused on crypto, people who are familiar with crypto, have wallets, because we want to really execute, get some feedback on kind of related to what Alex was just talking about, automated trading. And we're building something that kind of is the before step to what he was talking about. You're talking about access keys and auth, and you need to run that server locally to do that really cool demo that you showed. And we're building to allow agents to transact on your behalf. And what we shipped this week is a survey to help us get some opinions on, well, what do you expect? And how do you feel about granting different levels of permissions to an agent? And I'd love to show you a little bit more about that. Let me share my screen. And it's asking me to enable this.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that has issues with this live stream.
I might have to switch tabs. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, perfect. Awesome.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so if you go to benevio.dev/experiment, this is the link that I'd like you to share out. We've basically come up with a survey that pulls in pieces of this onboarding flow to get an idea of what preferences you have when setting up automated trading. So get started on that. And if you're using a browser like Brave, please disable ad blockers. And then it explains the scenario here. Let me share a different tab. This is fun. So basically, one of the core experiences of the app we're building is this agent. We wanted to have access to some of your portfolio to be able to monitor your portfolio such that you can create a goal and say, when my portfolio reaches a certain USD value, I want this agent to act on my behalf and to decide to swap some tokens to capture that gain in USD stablecoins, and I have that in my wallet. So it's this second step that we're really interested in. An agent trades automatically. It can pick the tokens and swap those tokens into USD. Are you comfortable with that? Would you prefer to have an agent only have access to a certain percentage of the tokens in your wallet? Would you prefer the agent ask you, hey, this is what I want to do, and then you have to approve that? So we have a lot of different questions in this survey. Cool, I can share this tab instead. And that's what this scenario is talking about here. When your portfolio grows, your agent acts. That's what we're describing here. And how much freedom do you want to give your agent? Do you prefer no autonomy and you want to require approval before any trade, and you want the agent to only trade once and not do anything after? Would you prefer some autonomy and you let the agent trade up to some percentage of your portfolio and then stop after reaching your goal? Or would you prefer full autonomy and you let the agent choose which tokens to swap, the quantities of each of those tokens to achieve your USD value in stable coins up to a certain percentage of all the tokens in your portfolio? Or maybe you prefer some combination of that. I want to approve before the agent does anything, but I'm going to customize this and let the agent trade up to a certain percentage. Or I want it to choose the tokens, but then just let me know what those are so I can approve that on my own. So that's this survey that we've created to help us understand what type of preferences you might have when setting this up. And this is going to go directly into the onboarding flow that we're building right now. But we want to check some assumptions right here. So that's why we have this survey at benevio.dev/experiment. So we can get some feedback and understand what you think about setting up an agent to do trades on your behalf to help you realize growth in your portfolio and realize some of that growth in USDC or USDT.
Ben, this is great.
What we shipped this week.
I will 100% be completing this survey right after this call. I encourage everyone else to do so as well. It also is, what you're building is super relevant to, I think, a lot of what's other things are being discussed on this call, which is really cool. It's kind of all coming together, and I think what you're doing is like sort of like the end user facing. So a couple questions though. How do you plan to manage like on ramps? Like, do you plan to have an on-ramp directly? Are you trying to do mobile app? Are you really trying to target like the mass everyday person, or are you really targeting like existing crypto traders?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So we have two audiences, and our end-to-end app that we're building that's longer term, that is targeting mainstream consumers, and we want to partner with an on-ramp provider like Coinbase or whichever one gives the best experience for our mobile-based application to allow people to transact fiat into crypto. And the different milestones that we're working towards over the next few months are targeting crypto natives to help us exercise different pieces of the core experience, so we can fine tune those and then build something that targets mainstream consumers. Let me also share really quick this. I showed previously the UI that we're building. One of the other pieces that we build can be helpful for other projects as well. Similar to Alex showing that MCP, we've built contracts that use Near's account model that allow you to set up basically a safe space that an agent can use to transact on your behalf while having limited access to the tokens on your account. So we have these different contracts set up, and we're building into our UI flow to allow you to create a sub account on your main Near account, deploy this contract to that sub account, and this contract is what the agent will use to request permission to sign transactions on your behalf using Near's multi-party computation network. And so this is the way that, in addition to what Alex mentioned about fine-tuning the LLM to hopefully ensure that it doesn't hallucinate, we can also reduce the blast radius of the potential effects that it can do when it does hallucinate by limiting the tokens on the account that it's using. It's using a sub-account that has a certain percentage of the tokens on your account, not everything. So even if it does hallucinate, it can only do so up to the percentage that you've granted to it. This is open source too, so other projects can do something similar.
It's great. This is part of the reason why I love Near, is like that access key management thing is really cool. And I do want to move on to Datrix to talk about travel, but I'm going to take a little detour to talk about, kind of highlight this on-ramp piece because it's very relevant. Been working with Robert Yan. For those who don't know, he's a Near OG, absolute boss. He is the one that was building this intent integration with X402. But right before that, we've been collaborating with Coinbase briefly, really trying to figure out the best way to frame this. But again, this is still a demo, to have an on-ramp that is completely chain abstracted, where we leverage Coinbase's on-ramp to on-ramp USDC to Near through the intent network, but it can be used for any other chain, which is really, really cool. So it's, in short, you take fiat from your either Coinbase account or Apple Pay, turn it to base USDC. From base USDC, you actually deposit it into the Near intent address. From the Near intent address, it can be sent to any other chain address. This technically is available for USDC today, but is also possible for other chains. The coolest part about this, and shout out to Coinbase for making this happen, no KYC up to $500 for Americans, which is a really big deal. So you sort of really get that seamless onboarding experience. And then also 0% fee for USDC on-ramps, which is just insane. So like crypto is finally ready to hit the mass market because these barriers are finally done. And Charles, I'd love for you to check out this sort of demo that we put together. It is functional. Things do happen on mainnet. I think that this can really solve a big problem for you.
Awesome. Yeah. Share that link, please. That's very cool.
Will do. And also, since I'm on it, just briefly talk about the X402 now that my audio works. This is also done by Robert Yan. He's currently on the Near AI team, and what it uses X402 for is funding your Near intent address with base USDC anytime that you might not have it, which is pretty cool. It's pretty simple. This was built in literally 24 hours, but we do have a lot more to do on X402 and Near integrations that I did flag earlier. The goal is to make this 100% multi-chain. We want to make blockchains totally invisible to people, so people like Charles can go onboard the masses and actually get people to make money programmatically. So this is my very quick update that I thought was relevant to share now. Given that, Charles, I hope you use this. We built it for you. And so we'll share more of this later.
Thanks, Cam.
But yeah, Charles, anything else before we hop off and talk more about travel agents?
No, benevio.dev/experiment, and look forward to your feedback. Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, man. All right. Kirill from Datrix, bringing you up. How you doing?
Hey, doing great.
Fantastic. So Kirill and I have been working together for a little bit now. Really interested. Well, first it started off as an agent that could build other agents to solve any problem in the world. That is pretty much solving AGI in a nutshell, and that is a very tall order. So we're scoping the project down to be much more specific. And Kirill has more to share exactly what we've been building. So Kirill, take it away with an introduction of yourself. What is Datrix, and what did you ship this week?
Thanks, Cameron. Yeah, my name is Kirill. I'm CTO at Datrix, and Datrix, basically what we are doing, we're building AI agent for enterprises, for different enterprise use cases. And as Cameron told, yeah, we started with building an agents builder or father agent that can build other agents to solve AGI. But we are narrowing the scope, and we applied father agent to build the travel assistant agent. But we found that travel assistant, it is not just the functionality, but it should have some really cool user experience, because like I travel a lot, like people are travel a lot on like using airplanes. So user experience pretty bad usually, because you have different applications for different airlines. They have a lot of bugs. Sometimes it's not clear like how is that Wi-Fi available on the flight or not. What is the seat space, etc. And it is usually hard to make this filter work to find the best like flight that solves your needs. So this is how we decided to build this travel agent. So I will share my screen. I will not do the live demo because usually it takes some time to go through the booking process and to search for the tickets. But you can try it yourself. Travel Assistant is available on Near AI Hub, and it has already a couple of cool features. So you can ask to find like whatever flight you want, for example, from Lisbon to San Francisco on 1st of August for one adult. It will give you the best available option. But what is cool here is that you can ask additional like things. For example, I want to have departure in the morning, or I want to have a direct flight only, or I want to have a flight with the Wi-Fi available on the board, or I want a flight with the biggest or extra legroom, and agent can find a flight for you. And usually this kind of filters are not available on any airline application or any like aggregator for different airlines. So it is one thing. And here's the demo. Like it shows me I asked for the flight. It found me the direct flight. I asked, okay, is there any flight with a departure in the morning? It found me the flight that departs at 11 a.m. And now I can book it from right from here. So it will take some time to go through the agent. So here is another example, and you can click on buy button, and then it will ask you for some additional information to fill your passenger details. Of course, in future, it can get your passenger details from your account or from if this agent is interacted from the assistant agent that already has your data, so it can fill the data automatically. And then you can just pay for the ticket, and you can pay for it through using the USDC, and it will just initiate the Near transaction and pay for your flight. So here is a test amount for $1, but yeah, because it's in test mode right now. And the payment come, agent verifies the transaction on chain, that this transaction is received by the agent's wallet, and it issues you a ticket. So here is my flight confirmation. That's it. So like turning back to what Cameron you shown just before my presentation. So how cool would it be if agent can automatically pay for the flight from your credit card or from any crypto or wallet that you have here, and it's already possible.
And this is great. Sounds like you benefit from X402 and a non-ramp. And my other issue, not issue, but like kind of concern again is around credential management. If I put my credit card information or anything into this platform today, where is it stored?
So right now there is no credit card information. So it initiates your payment transaction through AITP protocol. Mm-hmm. So when you click Pay Now, it will open the my Near wallet, mm-hmm. and we'll just I will just approve the transaction, and that's it. So
I guess okay, but you know the airline's not getting USDC; they're getting fiat. So like, where does the actual conversion happen? How does that work?
So right now, conversion is happening we are using a couple of different services, and we receive money from the user, but we send the transaction from our bank account to the airline.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is, I think, where X402 can be super beneficial.
Yes.
So,
yes. So it will be.
I've been in this space for such a long time, and it's always been these like hurdles that are finally over. Like they're gone. Like we can actually now pay for flights in crypto inside of our wallet. Like this has been 10 years in the making, and it's cool to be the people pushing this forward. So amazing work.
And without KYC under $500 for us.
Yeah, I mean that's like most people don't need over $500. So this is great. Kirill, this is amazing. What's next for this project?
So improve the user experience. The user experience is the key to travel agents, because so right now, for example, if you want to buy multi-city ticket, you need to put all these like airports. It is hard to find multi-city tickets in case if you don't care about the airport in the city. For example, it doesn't matter for you if to fly from Oakland or from San Jose or from San Francisco, and put other like multi airport route here. So agent can solve this. So first step is to improve user experience, and the second step is to add possibility to book hotels. So in that case, like imagine right now you can ask any assistant available on the market, like to give you a plan for your vacation, but it's just a plan. And with this kind of agent who are able to make payments, this plan can be not only a plan, but in fact you will get all itineraries and all hotels booked. So
just to be clear, this agent will be able to be callable through other assistants. Like let's say, like Near AI ships this Near AI assistant. It can use these agents to then coordinate with the hotels. So the whole point is like, this is kind of B2B. Like, yes, you can do B2C through the like Near AI interface, but the goal is ultimately get more adoption through other businesses sort of using this, correct?
Yes, correct. Okay. And for example,
Cool.
If you want to book like a lot of different tickets for multiple people, so agent can do this automatically because it has already all tooling needed.
Incredible. Man, this is exciting. Love to see the real world application. This to me is like the whole reason why we're all in this space is to drive long-term value. So incredible work. Super excited to have you back on when you have that multi-city, and also for me to use it. I travel a ton, and everyone else should check it out.
Yes. Thank you.
Awesome, Kirill. See you, buddy. All right. Last but very much so not least, we have Igboza here from Solvium. Hey, Igboza, how's it going? It's good to see you. It's been a while. Hey, can you hear me? Test, test, 1, 2. Can you hear me? Test, test. You are muted.
I can hear you.
Fantastic. Welcome to the show.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining. Can you quickly introduce yourself, talk a little bit about what Solvium is and what you ship this week?
Okay, my name is Igboze Israel, and founder and lead for Solvium. So basically, Solvium is an AI-powered puzzle game hub. What we want to do is to enable users of internet, especially social media and puzzle game lovers, to be able to leverage the blockchain to not just only play games to earn rewards, but to able to monetize their own individual games on the blockchain. This means with the use of our AI agents, they don't need to put codes together or needs to be developers themselves. So it's just a practical push to use scenarios, but they get to have like their own puzzle games on the blockchain and make use of them. So in this week, we able to have the first version of our Telegram quiz agent that is fully on chain. And what it does is just to help people to be able to create quizzes within their Telegram communities, or broadly anyone on Telegram at all who has access to the agent can either create or play or answer quizzes that are created by other persons that are using the same agent. So I'm going to try to share my screen. So you see, like, just to try to demo it. Hello, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
So I'm guessing the answer is yes, if you can
Yes.
see my screen. So how the agent works is, let's say you have the agent in your Telegram group. Here we have Solvium testers, those who are helping us to test our agent. So what I do is to use the create quiz function from the agent. Sends me a DM for me to come create my quiz. So basically, I'm going to answer what topic I want to create my quiz. So let's say I want, that goes on. 5 questions for my quiz. So if I have an article that I want this agent to use to create my quizzes, or I just wanted to take any information from the internet about Near AI to create the quizzes, I can either paste a text, or I can just skip for it to generate quizzes based on any information. So let's say here I have like specific document I wanted to use. So I'm going to paste my article here to the agent, and let's specify duration. So let's assume I want my game to last for like 2 hours. So I enter the time, and then I allow the agent to generate my quiz. So it takes a few seconds, and then I have to, like, okay, how many near to who wins the first position, the second, and all that. So let's say I want
Today I want to show a demo.
3 near for first, 2 for second, and 1 year for third, so I send this. It's practically based on it goes on to work. So I think my network is a little bit okay. So we have this. So at this point in time, we are running it this way because we want to have it in both ways. So this way, the agent don't have access to your private keys to your wallet. You just create your quiz and you send the tokens to the address that distributes the tokens to winners. In the second version, we are going to be enabling the AI having access to private keys so that the processing of transactions can actually happen really fast. So I have to send 6near to the address that is meant to distribute the rewards to those who win because 6near is the total rewards that I have for my quiz. So the moment I send this, we are doing it in this way. Like this is just like the first version of what we have. So when I send these tokens, I send the same transaction hash for that token to verify that amount of near has been sent to the address. So the agent makes this verification and proceeds to publish the game for anyone to play. So just okay, we're almost there. My network is a little bit lagging, so that is why we're having this situation. Okay,
It's okay.
So
It's better than the situation I had earlier. So you're doing great.
yeah, so I have sent the tokens and then I send the transaction hash. This is live. So anyone, then it notifies the group that I create the quiz from, that the quiz titled Near AI is active and anyone can play. So if I play quiz, so it sends me a DM again. And then I go, tada, here we have. So the first question, what is the primary objective of Near AI in the context of artificial intelligence development? So I answer the quizzes, and by the time the 2 hours expires, then rewards are automatically distributed to winners. In the long run, what we want to do is to have this run on Telegram and also on mobile app, so that it's easy for like Web2 users to jump right in and get to use. We hope that this is really going to like onboard more users, like just people who just love simple games to go around it. So in the coming weeks, we are going to be having word games like crossword puzzles or Wordle, like any kind of word puzzle games that you have. The AI will be able to run it for us, and with like an easier and a faster mechanism for what we have here right now.
Hey, this is really cool. Quick couple questions though. One, what's your sort of go-to-market here? Are you trying to go directly to the consumer? Or are you trying to work with projects that are trying to run campaigns and things themselves?
Okay, so we want to do it in both ways. First, to like go persons like just normal users also, but also for like people, those who want to run campaigns, for example, communities on Telegram or social media that want to leverage our solution. Regardless of the chain, we are going to use the tools available from Proximity and Near AI to be able to be sure that it goes multi-chain, so that even on Twitter, this can actually happen easily.
Super cool. And how far along are you? Is this live today, or if not today, when will it be live?
Okay, so by next week, I hope that at this time, gracefully, we be like 100% done with the Telegram quiz agent and make progress also with that of Twitter, and then also for the word puzzle game. But in the long run, let's say before the end of Q2, we should be able to have like a couple of puzzle games and having like AI fully running them on the web, and then on Telegram and Twitter, while we work towards like mobile app in like Q4.
This is great, man. We do have to move on, but is there anything else that you want to share with the audience before we hop off? Think we lost him. Well, okay. Well, Bogza will follow up with you in Telegram after. Make sure to share any relevant links. I did finally get the, hopefully, demo live and available, and everyone should be able to hear it now. So I just want to share this. Shout out to Robert for, okay, great. Frederick's giving me the thumbs up. Awesome. Yes. This is Robert's demo on X402, near integration. Enjoy.
Hey guys, today I want to show a demo how we integrate X402 payment protocol with Near Intents to help users and agents buy anything without knowing the complexity of a blockchain. So we have both. First is X402, which is a way to embed a payment into HTTP, any HTTP request natively, and we have Near Intents, which is a standardized way for users and agents to request anything without knowing the details of blockchain. So let's see the demo, how it works. So we have three components here. One is the client. Just assume it's our agent or user who want to buy something. In our example, we want to buy some USDC to send to my Near account, and we'll use base USDC to buy that, which is actually supported by X402 protocol. Then next we have the server, which is actually our practice server for Near Intents server, delay server, and empowered by the Intents payment middleware we have developed, which actually will calculate the amount of the USDC needed to pay in this Intents, and helped with by the facilitator, which will be able to verify the payment and settle the payment on blockchain. So that's how it basically works. We have the client, server, and the facilitator. Okay, let's actually run the facilitator, and now let's start the client. And so just wait a little bit. Let's check out the amount of USDC in my wallet. You can see this amount of USDC in my wallet. And let's start the client. Actually, it will double check the amount of USDC when it starts. So that's the amount, and then it will get the code for the swap. And here we'll publish the intent, but it finds out that not enough USDC in our Near Intent wallet. So it asks the facilitator to help to verify the payment, and the payment is settled. Cool, very fast. Now the Near Intent server needs some time to waiting for the deposit is arriving. So let's wait a little bit. It should be very, very soon. Okay, now the intent has been actually already published and redirected to the Near Intent server, and the intent has been settled. Now we can see some kind of USDC has increased in my Near wallet. Let me refresh the wallet and confirm the amount is there. Cool, we have more Near arrived, and let's review the diagram to understand a little bit more how it works. So actually the user sent the request to the server, and the server said, okay, you need to pay me something, and with a full true response, it contains the address and the amount you need to pay for the clients. And the client will sign a message for the payment with the signature encoded in base64 and in this X payment header. Then the server will ask the facilitator to help to verify the payment and settle payment on blockchain. After the transaction is confirmed, it will return the result in the X payment response header. Then the users will know the results and everything is finished. So that's how it basically works. And by combining both X402 with Near Intents, users and agents are able to actually buy anything and without knowing the detail of the blockchain. It's really cool stuff. So if you want to learn more details about this demo, check out my GitHub repo here, Thinking Universe and X402. And if you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out. And I hope we can together develop more cool demos and projects and some new innovative protocols and products built on top of this protocol. Hope you like it. See you.
That was Robert Yan from historically a bunch of different apps in the Near ecosystem, actually. He's been building in the Near ecosystem for about almost 5 years now, 4.5 years. He's working on Near AI. He's amazing. I work with him directly on pretty much every project I'm on. Super grateful to have him. We'll drop the repo to the X402 implementation. But that is all we have. I wanted to throw in that demo at the very end just so it's here for the record. And we'll be posting more about it later this week. Thank you all for joining. This is the end. If you want to constantly stay updated on what's going on in Near AI, go to Near_AI on Twitter. And if you want to stay in touch with me, I'm Cameron_Dennis on Twitter. So thank you all for coming and see you next week. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Near Week.